Fucking me.
Oh wow.
Armored cars and tanks and guns.
What is it?
Μία κορυφή των νόμων, ενώ οι άλλοι τον αφήκονται. Αιτία του πατέρα. Ένας γιος με μια σπασμένη καρδιά. Κανείς δεν μπορεί να ξεφύγει από την ερωτή.
No happiness where there is no wisdom. No wisdom but in submission to the gods. Big words are always punished, and proud men in old age learn to be wise. There is no happiness where there is no wisdom. No wisdom but in submission to the gods. Big words are always punished, and proud men in old age learn to be wise. There is no happiness where there is no wisdom. No wisdom but in submission to the gods. Big words are always punished, and proud men in old age learn to be wise. There is no happiness where there is no wisdom. No wisdom but in submission to the gods. Big words are always punished, and proud men in old age learn to be wise. There is no happiness where there is no wisdom. No wisdom but in submission to the gods. Big words are always punished, and proud men in old age learn to be wise. There is no happiness where there is no wisdom. No wisdom but in submission to the gods. Big words are always punished, and proud men in old age learn to be wise. There is no happiness where there is no wisdom. No wisdom but in submission to the gods. Big words are always Ismene. Dear sister. You would think we had suffered enough for the curse on Oedipus. I cannot imagine any grief that you and I have not gone for, and now they told you the decree for a new king, Creon.
I've heard nothing. I know that 2 sisters lost 2 brothers, a double death in a single hour, and I know that the Argive army fled in the night, but beyond this, nothing.
I thought so. And that is why I've asked you here. There's something we must do.
Why do you speak so strangely?
Listen, Ismene. Creon buried our brother Eteocles with military honours. Gave him a soldier's funeral, and it was right that he should, but Polynices, he fought as bravely, and he died as miserably. They say Creon has ordered that no one must mourn for him, no one to bury him, but that his body must lie in the fields. A sweet treasure for carrion birds to find as they search for food. That is what they say. And our good King Creon is coming here to announce it publicly. And the penalty, stoning to death. There it is. And now you can prove what you are. A true sister, or a traitor to your family.
You're mad, Antigone. What could I possibly do?
You must decide whether you will help me in this or not.
I don't understand. Help you in what?
Ismene, I'm going to bury him. Will you come?
Bury him? You just said that, then you laugh against it.
He is my brother. He's your brother too.
But think of the danger. Think of what Creon might do.
Creon's not enough to stand in our way.
Sister, Oedipus died, everyone hating him for what his own search brought to light. His eyes ripped out by his own hands. And Iocaste died, his mother and his wife at once. She twisted the cords that strangled her life, and our 2 brothers died, each killed by the other sword, and we're left. But Antigone, think how much more terrible than these our deaths should be if we went against Creon and did what he's forbidden. We're only women. We can't fight with men, Antigone. The law is strong, and we must abide by the law in this thing and in worse. I pray the dead to forgive me, but I must yield to those in authority.
If that's what you think, I should not want you. Even if you ask to come, you've made your choice. You can be what you want to be, but as for me, I will bury your brother, and I will be as dear to him in death as he was to me. It is the dead, Ismene, not the living, who make the longest demands. We die forever. You can do what you want, since apparently the laws of God mean nothing to you.
They mean a great deal to me. I have no strength to go against laws that were made for the public good.
An excuse, I suppose. But as for me, I will bury the brother I love.
Antigone, I'm so afraid for you.
You need not be. You have yourself to consider after all.
But no one must hear of this. You must tell no one. I'll keep it a secret, I promise.
No. Tell it. Tell everyone. Think how they will hate you when they find out that you knew about this the whole time.
So fiery, you should be cold with fear.
Perhaps. But I'm only doing what I must, what we must.
But can you do it? I say you cannot.
Very well. When my strength gives out, I shall do no more.
Impossible things shouldn't be tried at all.
Go away, Ismene. I shall be hating you soon. And the dead will too, for your words are hateful. Go on then. Leave me my foolish plan. I'm not afraid of the danger. If
if I'm to die, not be the worst of deaths. A death without honour. Go then, if you feel you must. You're so unwise, but you're a good friend to those who love you.
Now, the long blade of the sun,
Lying,
level east to west,
touches with glory,
deeds of 7 gates,
open, unlidded,
eye of golden day,
O marching light,
across the eddy and rush of Dursey stream,
striking the white shields of the enemy, thrown headlong backwards from the blaze of morning.
Polynesies, their commander, roused them with windy phrases.
he,
he
the wild eagle,
screaming insults above our land,
His
Rings the shields of snow,
his
his
crest of martial towns.
against our 7 gates in the yawning ring.
famished spears came onward in the night.
But before his jaws were sated with our blood,
or the pine fire to the garland of our towers.
He was thrown back, and as he turned, great thieves,
No tender victim for his noisy power.
Rose like a dragon behind him,
shouting war,
for God,
God
hates
hates
utterly
utterly
the
brave
brave
bragging tongues,
and
when
when
his
their
head is smiling,
Their
a
swagger of golden
helms,
the frown of his thunder
blasted.
their
Their
first
first-
man from our walls. We heard a shout of triumph high in the air.
turned to a scream,
far
fire.
out in a flaming fire.
He fell with his windy torch, and the air struck him.
And others storming in fury, no less than his, found shock of death in the dusty joy of battle.
7 captains at 7 gates.
Yielded their clanging arms to the god.
That bends the battle line and breaks it.
these 2 only, brothers in blood,
Face to face in matchless rage.
Mirroring each other's deaths.
clashed in long combat.
But now in the beautiful morning of victory,
Let
thieves
thieves
of
of
many
many
Chariots
chariots
sing for joy,
with hearts for dancing, we'll take leave of war,
Our
Our
temples shall be sweet with hymns of praise.
and the long night shall echo.
Oh, Antigone! How I have longed to see you!
Frightened me, I thought you were the guards.
Oh shit. If you were the guards, Antigone, man. Okay, hold on, 1 second, let's do it again. If any of the guards to lay a finger on you, I'd have their heads. For you are mine, Antigone, and mine alone.
Yeah, but I can't do this right now. And I'm not yours yet. I'm free as a bird.
Oh.
I've told you the news.
Yes. Why do you think that I'm here?
Hey, Mommy, no. My love, absolutely no. I cannot have you help me in this. This is something I must do alone. This is my burden.
This is something you must do, but why must you do it alone?
Punishment would be far worse if you were to be involved.
Being without you is punishment enough, Antigone. I would die for you.
Very well. But you will not help me. I will do it myself. Come, we're losing light.
But now,
At last, our new king is coming, Creon of Thebes, Menecus' son. In this auspicious dawn of his reign, what are the new complexities that shifting fate has woven for him? What is his counsel? Why has he summoned the old men to hear him?
Gentlemen, I have the honor to inform you that our ship of state, which recent waters have threatened to destroy, has arrived safely at harbour at last, guided by the merciful wisdom of heaven. I have summoned you here this morning because I know I can depend upon you. Your devotion to King Laius was absolute. You never hesitated in your duties to our late ruler Oedipus. When Oedipus died, your loyalty transferred to his children. Unfortunately, as you know, his two sons, Eteocles and Polynices, have killed each other in battle, and I, as the next in blood, have succeeded to the full power of the throne. I am aware, of course, that no ruler can expect full loyalty from his subjects until he has been tested in office. Nonetheless, I say to you from the very outset, I have nothing but contempt for the kind of governor who is afraid, for whatever reason, to do what he knows is best for this country. And as for the man who sets private friendship above the public welfare, I have no time for him either. I call God to witness, if I saw my country headed for ruin, I would not be afraid to speak out plainly. And I need hardly remind you, I'll have no dealings with an enemy of the people. No one values friendship more highly than I, but we must remember that friends made at risk of reckonership are not real friends at all. These are my principles at any rate. And that is why I have made the following decision on the sons of Oedipus. Eteocles, who died as a man should, fighting for his country, will be buried with full military honors and all the ceremony that is usual when the greatest heroes die. But his brother, Polynices, who broke his exile to come back with fire and sword against his native city and the shrines of his father's gods, whose one idea was to spill blood of his blood and sell his own people into slavery, Polynices, I say, gets no burial. No man is to touch him or say the least prayer for him. He is to lie on the plain unburied, and the birds and the scavenging dogs can do with him whatever they like. This is my command, and you can see the wisdom behind it. Whilst I am king, no traitor is going to be honoured with the loyal man, but the man who shows by word and deed that he is on the side of the state. He shall have my respect whilst he is living, and my reverence when he is dead.
If that is your will, Creon, son of Menecus' son, we are yours.
We are yours.
And that is my will. Take care that you do your part.
We are old men. Let the younger ones carry it out.
I do not mean that. The sentries have been appointed.
Then what is it that you would have us do?
You shall show no support for whoever breaks the law.
Only a crazy man is in love with death.
And death it is. That money talks, and the wisest have sometimes been known to count a few coins too many.
I'll say that I'm not out of breath and winning, King, because every time I step back to think what I'm going to say, I go back, and all the time a voice kept saying, "You fool, don't you know you want yourself straight into trouble?" And another voice, "Yes, but he went to me to tell you to Creon bus if it wasn't it for you." The good sense went out. Well, I hope it was good sense. But here I am with a story that makes no sense at all, but I'll tell it anyhow, because as they say, what's gonna happens, happens, and
Come to the point, what have you to say?
I did not do it. I did not see who did it. You must not punish me when something else is done.
Comprehensive defence, more effective perhaps if I knew its purpose. Come, what is it?
A dreadful thing. I don't know how to put
Out
it.
with it.
Well then, the dead man, Polonices, out there, somewhere. New Dawson's finally fresh. Someone has given that bottle away and gone and
And the man who dared do this.
I swear I do not know. You must believe me. Listen, the ground was dry. No sign of digging, no wheel track in the dust. No trace of anyone. It was when we read it this morning. The corporal pointed to it. The strangers, there it was. Look, the body just mounted over there with the white dust, you see. Not buried really, but as they covered it. Just enough of a ghost piece. And there's no sign of any dog or any wild animal who have been there. And there, what I seen there was every man of us accused one another. We all proved that we could not have done it. We all proved that our man could have done it. The radiance walked through fire, swear by all the gods, it was not I. I don't know who it was, but it was not I. And somebody said the thing that silenced all and make it root down the ground. You had to be told the news and someone had to do it. We threw the dice and the bad luck fell to me. So here I am, no happier to have me. Nobody likes the man who brings bad news.
Creon, I've been thinking, can it be the gods that have done this?
Stop! Must you daughter and Rex got out of your minds entirely? The gods. Intolerable. The gods favor this corpse. Why? How had he served them? Tried to loot their temples, burn their images, yes, and the whole state and its laws with it. Is it your senile opinion that the gods love to honor bad men? A pious thought! No. From the very beginning, there have been those that have whispered against me. Stiff-necked anarchists, putting their heads together, scheming in alleys. These are men. And they have bribed my own guard to do this thing. Find that man. Bring him here to me, or your death will be the least of your worries. I'll string you up alive, and you will find that there are ways to make you discover your employer before you die. The process will teach you a lesson you seem to have missed. The dearest profits are sometimes all too dear. Do you understand me? A fortune won is often misfortune.
King, may I speak?
Your very voice distresses me.
Are you sure that it is my voice and not your conscience?
Oh, by God, he wants to analyze me now.
It is not what I say, but what has been done that hurts you.
You talk too much.
Maybe, but I've done nothing.
Sold your soul for some silver, that's all you've done.
How dreadful it is when the white judge judges wrong.
Your play on words may entertain you now. Unless you find me that man, you get very little profit from them in the end.
Bring me the man. I'll wait nothing to bring him the man. But bring him or not, you have seen the last of me here. At any rate, I am safe.
Numberless are the world's wonders,
but none more wonderful than man.
The storm-grey sea yields to his prows.
The huge crest bears him high.
Earth,
Holy and inexhaustible,
is graven with the shining furrows where his plows have gone. Year after year, the timeless labor of stallions.
the light-born birds and beasts that cling to cover,
The lithe of fish lighting their reaches of dim water.
all are taken, tamed in the net of his mind. The lion on the hill,
the wild horse windy maned,
resigned to him, and his blunt yoke has broken
The sultry shoulders of the mountain bull.
Words also and thoughts as rapid as air.
He fashions to his good use, statecraft is his.
and his the skill that deflects the arrows of snow.
the spears of winter rain from every wind.
He has made himself secure from all but one.
In the late wind of death, he cannot stand.
O clear intelligence, force beyond all measure, O fate of man, working both good and evil.
When the laws are kept, how proudly his city stands. When the laws are broken, what of his city then?
Never may the anarchic man find rest in thy heart. Never be it said that
My thoughts are his thoughts.
What does this mean?
Surely this captive woman is the Princess Antigone.
Why should she be taken?
Here is the woman. We caught her in the very act of buying them. Where is Creon?
Just coming from the house.
What has happened? Why are you back so soon?
O king, a man would have sworn not to see me here again. Your anger frightened me so, and the things you threatened me with. But how can I tell then I will able to solve the case so soon? No dice woman this time. I was only too glad to come. Here is the woman. We caught her in the very act of buying her. Take her, then question her, then judge her as you will. I am through with the whole thing and glad of it.
This is Antigone. Why have you brought her here?
She was buying him, I tell you.
Is this the truth?
I saw her with my own eyes. Can I say more?
Come. The details. Tell me quickly.
It was like this. After all those terrible threats you came, we went back and brushed the dust away from the body. The flesh was soft but now and stinking. So we sat in the hills windward and kept guard. No napping happened until the white round sun circled over the sun around us. Then suddenly, a storm of dust rolled up from the air, and the sky went out and the plain vanished with all its trees in the stinging dark. We closed our eyes and endured it. The river lasted a long time, but it passed. And then we looked. And there was Antigone. I have seen a mother bird crying about a broken note or two, just so when this girl found the bare body and all her walls walked wasted. She wept and cried on heaven that has done this damn thing. And she brought more dust. And she speckled it 3 more times for our power's ghost. We ran and took it at once. She was not afraid. Not even when we charged her what she has done. She denied nothing. And this was comfort to me, and some easiness. For it is a good thing to escape from death, but it is no great pleasure to bring death to a friend. Yet, I always say, there's nothing so comfortable in your safe own skin.
And you, Antigone, you with your head hanging. Do you confess this thing?
I do. I deny nothing.
Give me a cup. Tell me briefly. Had you heard my proclamation touching the matter?
It was public. Could I help hearing it?
And yet you dared to break the law.
I did. It was not God's proclamation. That final justice that rules the world down below holds no such laws. Your edict, King, was strong. But all your strength is a weakness itself against the immortal, unrecorded laws of God. They're not merely now. They are, and shall be, operative forever, beyond man utterly. And I knew I must die, even without your decree. And if I must die now, before it is my time to die, surely this is of no hardship to me. Can anyone, living as I live, with an evil all about me, think death less than a friend? This death of mine is of no importance, but if I had left my brother lying in death, unburied, I should have suffered, and now I do not. You smile at me. Creon, think me a fool, if you like, but it may well be that a fool convicts me of folly!
Like father, like daughter.
Both headstrong, deaf to reason.
She has never learned to yield.
Oh, she has much to learn. The inflexible heart breaks first. The toughest iron cracks first. And the wildest horses bend their neck to the pool of the smallest curve. Pride in a slave. This girl is guilty of a double insolence, breaking the given laws and then boasting about it. Who is the man here? She or I, if I let this crime go unpunished? Sister's child, or more than sister's child, or closer yet in blood. She and her sister win bitter death for this. Go! Arrest this meanie. I accuse her equally of this. You'll find her sniffling in the house there. Her mind's a traitor. Crime's kept in the dark, cry for the light. And the guardian brain shudders. But so much worse than this is brazen boasting of bare-faced anarchy.
Creon, what more could you possibly want than my death?
Nothing. That gives me everything.
Then I beg you, kill me! This talking is a great weariness to me. Your words are distasteful to me, and I'm sure mine seem so to you. And yet, they should not seem so. I should have praise and honour for what I have done. All these men here would agree with me were their tongues not frozen shut in fear of you.
You are alone in that opinion.
No, they are with me, but their tongues are in leash.
Maybe. But you are guilty and they are not.
There is no guilt and reverence for the dead.
But Eteocles, was he not your brother too?
My brother too.
And you insult his memory.
The dead man would not say I insult it.
You would. For you honour a traitor just as much as him.
His own brother, a traitor or not, and equal in blood.
He brought war to this country. Eteocles defended it.
Even so, there are honours due all of the dead.
Never the same for the wicked as for the just.
Creon, which of us can say what the gods hold wicked?
An enemy is an enemy, even dead.
It is my nature to join in love, not hate.
Go join them, then. If you must have your love, find it in hell.
See, as many comes, those tears are sisterly. The cloud that shadows her eyes rains down gentle sorrow.
You too, it's me. Snake in my house, sucking my blood stealthily. And all this time I never knew these two sisters were aiming at my throne. Tell me, do you confess your share in this crime or do you deny it? Answer me.
Yes. If she'll let me say so, I am guilty. No. I will not have you say so.
You would not help me, and I will not have you help me now.
But now I know what you mean. And I'm here to join you. I'm here to take my share of punishment.
The dead man and those who rule the dead know whose actions these were. Words are not friends.
Do you refuse me? Antigone? I want to join you. I want to die with you.
You will not lessen my death by sharing it.
But what do I care for life if you are dead?
Ask Creon. You're always hanging on his opinions.
You're laughing at me, Antigone. Why?
This is a joyless laughter, Smee.
But can I do nothing?
Yes. Save yourself. There are those that will praise you. I shall have honour too.
But we're equally guilty.
No more, Ismene. You are alive. You are alive. But I belong to death.
Gentlemen, I beg you to observe these two girls. One has now just lost her mind, the other, it seems, never had a mind at all.
Grief teaches the steadiest minds to waver, King.
You're certainly dead, and you chose to gild with the guilty.
But how could I go on living without her?
You are. She's already dead.
But your own son's bride.
There are places enough for him to push his plough. I will have no wicked women for my sons.
Dearest Haemon, how your father has wronged you.
I grow tired of your childish talks of marriage.
Do you really intend to steal this girl from your son?
No! Death will do that for me.
And she must die.
Dazzle me. But enough of this talk. You there! Take them away and guard them well. For they are above women, and even brave men run when they see death coming.
Fortunate is the man who has never tasted God's vengeance. Where once the anger of heaven has struck,
That house is shaken
forever.
Damnation behind each child.
Like a wave cresting out of the black northeast.
When the long darkness undersea roars up and
And
bursts drumming death upon the wind-wet sands,
I have seen this gathering sorrow from long time past loom upon Oedipus's children.
Generation from generation.
Take the compulsive rage of the enemy god.
So lately this last flower of Oedipus's line.
drank the sunlight.
But now a passionate word.
And a handful of dust hath closed up all its beauty. What mortal arrogance transcends the wrath of Zeus?
Sleep cannot lull him, nor the effortless long months of timeless God.
But he is
young
young
forever, and his house the shining day of high Olympus.
All that is,
And shall be.
and all the past.
Is his.
No pride on earth.
is free of the curse of heaven.
The strange dreams of men may bring them ghosts of joy, but as they drowse,
House
the
waking
waking
embers
embers
burn
burn
them.
them.
Or they walk with fixed eyes.
As blind men walk,
But the ancient wisdom speaks for our own time.
Fate works most for woe, with always fairest show.
Man's little pleasure is the spring of sorrow.
Is it grief for Antigone that brings him here? And the bitterness of being robbed of his bride?
Mother! This can't stand! You have to change his mind! For me, mother!
I have to stop this.
Yep.
I may be a queen, but I am a wife first. The duties of a wife are sacred.
What are the duties to this kingdom? Or to me, your son, your only son?
You wish to discuss duties. You think you can imagine this loss?
Imagine it. I'm living it. First my brother, and now you're trying to take away my fiancée, Antigone, your future queen.
You have always been so stubborn. Ever since you were a little boy, playing with your brother. You stole your sword once, I remember. The wailing cries. You found another. And you're just as happy.
Why am I shutting this up, Mother? I can't just find another. Antigone is the one. And she will be your future queen. Son. You have heard my final judgment on that girl. Have you come here hating me? Or do you come with love and deference for whatever I do? I am your son, Father. You are my guide. You make things clear for me and I obey you. No marriage is more important to me than your continuing wisdom. Good. That is a way to be subordinate. Everything else, my son, to your father's will. This is what a man prays for. That he may get sons dutiful and attentive in his house, hating his father's enemies, honouring his father's friends. If his sons fail him, if they turn out on profit play, what is he father but trouble for himself and amusement for the malicious? So you are right not to lose your head over that woman. Your pleasure with her would soon grow cold, Haman. And then you'd have a hellcat in bed and elsewhere. Let her find a husband in hell. Of all the people in this city, only she has had contempt for my law and broken it. Do you want me to show myself weak before the people? Or to break my sworn word? No. And I will not. The woman dies. I suppose she'll plead family ties. Well, let her. If I permit my own family to rebel, how shall I earn the world's obedience? I'll have no dealings with lawbreakers, critics of the government. Whoever is chosen to rule should be obeyed, must be obeyed in all things, great and small, just and unjust. Amen. The man knows how to follow orders, and that man only knows how to give commands when the time comes. You can depend on him, no matter how fast the spears come. He's a good soldier, he'll stick them out. Anarchy. Anarchy. Show me a greater evil. This is why cities tumble and the great names rain down. This is what scatters armies. No, no. Good lives are made so by discipline. We protect the laws then, and the lawmakers, and no woman shall seduce us. If we must lose, let's lose to a man at least. Is a woman stronger than we?
Unless time has rusted my wits, what you say, King, is with point and dignity.
Father, reason is God's crowning gift to man, and you are right to warn me against losing mine. I cannot say, well, I hope I should never want to say that you have reasoned badly, but there are other men who can reason too, and their opinions might be helpful. You are not in a position to know everything that people say or do or what they feel. Your temper terrifies them. Everyone will tell you only what you like to hear, but I, at any rate, can listen. And I've heard them muttering and whispering in the dark about this girl. They say, never has a woman so unreasonably died so shameful a death for a generous act. She covered her dead brother's body. Is this indecent? She kept him from the dogs and the vultures. Is this a crime? Death! We should give her all the honours that we can give her. This is the way they talk about her in the city.
Oh,
you must believe me. Nothing is closer to me than your happiness. What could be closer? Must not any son value his father's fortune as his father does his? I beg you, do not be unchangeable. Do not believe that you alone can be right. The man who thinks that, the man who maintains that he alone has the power to reason correctly, the gift to speak, to soul, a man like that, when you know him, turns out empty. It's not reason never to yield to reason! In flood time, you can see how some trees bend. And because they bend, even their twigs are safe. While stubborn trees are torn up, roots and all. The same thing happens in sailing. Make your sheets fast, never slacken, and there you go, head over heels and under, and there's your voyage. Forget you are angry. Let yourself be moved. I know I am young. But please let me say this. The ideal condition would be, yes, I admit, that men should be right by instinct. But since we are all too likely to be led astray, the reasonable thing would be to listen to those who can teach.
You will do well to listen to him, King.
If what he says is sensible, and you, human, must listen to your power, both speak well.
You think it wise for a man of my years and experience to go to school to a boy?
It is not right if I am wrong, but if I am young and right, what does my age matter?
You think it right to stand up for an anarchist?
No! Not at all. I pay no attention, respect to criminals.
Then she is not a criminal.
It's the city proposes to teach me how to rule.
And the city proposes to teach me how to rule.
Ah! Who is talking like a boy now?
My voice is the one voice giving orders in this city.
It is no city if it takes orders from one voice.
The state is the king.
Yes! If the state is a desert!
This boy, it seems, has sold out to a woman.
Yes, if you are a woman! My concern is only for you.
So, you're concerned in a public brawl with your father.
How about you in a public brawl with justice?
With justice! And that all that I do is within my rights.
You have no right to trample on God's right.
Fool. Adolescent fool. Sold out to a woman.
You will never see me taken in by anything vile.
Every word you say is for her.
And for you. And for me. And for the gods beneath the earth.
You will not marry her while she lives.
Then she must die. But her death will cause another.
Another? Have you lost your senses? Is this an open threat?
There is no threat in speaking to emptiness.
I swear you'll come to regret the superior tone of yours. You are the empty one.
If you were not my father, I'd say you were perverse.
You girl struck fool, don't play out words with me.
I'm sorry, you prefer silence.
Oh my God. By all the gods in heaven above us, you'll watch it. That's where you shall. Bring her out. Bring the woman out. Let her die in front of him. Here, this instant, with her bridegroom beside her.
Not here! No! She will not die here, King! And you would never see my face again! Go on raving! As long as you have a friend to enjoy it!
Gone. Grion, a young man in rage is dangerous.
Let him do, or dream to do what a man can. He will not save those girls from death.
These girls, you've sentenced them both.
No, you're right. I will not kill the one whose hands are clean.
But Antigone.
I will carry her far away out there in the wilderness and seal her in a vault of stone. She shall have food, as the custom is, to absolve the state of her death. And there let her pray to the gods of hell. They are her only gods now. Perhaps they will show her a way to escape death. Or maybe she'll learn, relate. A piety shown the dead is pity in vain.
Love, unconquerable.
Waster of rich men,
Keeper of warm lights.
An all-night vigil.
in the soft face of a girl,
Sea wanderer, forest visitor,
Even the pure immortals cannot escape you.
and the mortal man in his one day's dusk,
trembles before your glory.
Surely you swerve upon ruin, the just man's consenting heart. As here you have you've made bright anger.
Strike between father and son, and none has conquered but love.
a girl's glance working at the will of heaven, pleasure to her alone, who mock us, merciless Aphrodite. But I can no longer stand in awe of this, nor see what I see, keep back my tears. Here's Antigone, passing to that chamber where we all sleep at last.
Look upon me, friends, and pity me. Turning back at the night's edge to say goodbye to the sun that shines for me no longer. Now sleepy death summons me down to Acheron, that sleepy shore. There's no bright song there, nor any music.
Yet not unpraised, not without a kind of honour, you walk at last into the underworld, untouched by sickness, broken by no sword. What woman has ever found your way to death?
How often I have heard the story of Niobe, Tantalus's wretched daughter. How the stone clung fast about her ivy close, and they say the rain falls endlessly, rifting soft snow. I feel the loneliness of her death in mine.
But she was born of heaven, and you, as a woman born, if her death is yours, a mortal woman's, is this not for you?
Glory in our world and in the world beyond.
You laugh at me. Friends, can you not wait until I am dead? Oh, Thebes. Oh, men many charioted, in love with fortune. Sweet spring of Dirge, sacred Theban grove, be witnesses to me. Denied all pity, unjustly judge, and think a word of love for her whose path turns dark under cold earth, where there are no more tears.
You have passed beyond human daring, and come at last into a place of stone, where justice sits, I cannot tell.
What shape of your father's guilt appears in this?
You've touched it. At last. That bride bed. Unspeakable. Horror of father and mother mingling. Oedipus. Father and brother. Your marriage strikes from the grave to murder mine. I have been a stranger here in my own land. All of my life, the blasphemy of my birth has followed me.
Reverence is a virtue, but strength lives in established law that must prevail. You have made your choice. Your death is the doing of your conscious hand.
Let me go then, since your words are bitter to me, and the very light of the sun is cold to me. Lead me to my vigil, where I'm to have no love, no lamentation, no song, but silence.
If dirges and lamentations could put off death, men would be singing forever. Take her. Go. You know your orders. Take her to the vault and leave her there alone. Whether she lives or dies is her affair, not ours. Our hands are clean.
Tim. Vaulted bride bed and eternal rock. Soon I shall be with my own again, where Persephone welcomes the thin ghost underground. And I shall see my father again. And you, mother, and dearest Polynices, dearest indeed, since it was my hand that washed him and poured the ritual wine, and my reward is a death before my time! And yet as men's hearts know, I have done no wrong, I have not sinned before God, or if I have, I shall know the truth in death. But if the guilt should lie with Creon, who judged me, then I pray, let his punishment equal my own.
O passionate heart, unyielding, tormented still by the same winds.
The guards will have good cause to regret their delaying.
Creon, yours is the voice of death.
I can give no reason to think otherwise.
Thebes. And you, my father's gods, and rulers of Thebes, you see me now, the last unhappy daughter of a line of kings, your kings led away to death. You will remember what things I suffer, and at whose hands, because I would not transgress the laws of heaven. Come. Let us wait no longer.
All Danae's beauty was locked away in a brazen cell where the sunlight could not be.
A small room, still as a grave, enclosed her.
Yet she was a princess too.
And Zeus in a rain of gold poured love upon her. O child, child!
No power in wealth or war, or tough sea blackened ships
can prevail against untiring destiny.
Dryas' son also, that furious king,
bore the god prisoner for his anger.
Sealed up by Dionysus in death stone.
His madness died among echoes.
So last he weighed what dreadful power his tongue had mocked.
For he had profaned the revels,
and fired the wrath of the time.
Implacable sisters that loved the sound of the flute.
And old men tell half-remembered tales of horror done where a dark ledge splits the sea.
And a double surf beats on the grey shores.
Our king's new woman,
sick
with hatred for the queen he had imprisoned,
ripped of his 2 sons' eyes with her bloody hands, while brimming Ares watched as the shuttle plunged.
4 times.
4 blind wounds.
Crying for revenge. Crying tears of blood mingled, piously born. Those sons whose mother was of heavenly birth.
Her father was a god of the north winds. She was cradled by gales.
She raced with young colts on the glittering hills and walked untrammelled in the open light, but in her marriage deathless fate found means to
build
a tomb like yours for all her joy.
This is the way the blind man comes. Princes, princesses,
Walk, step, two heads lit by the eyes of one.
What new things have you to tell us, old Tiresias?
I have much to tell you, Creon. Only listen to the prophet.
I admit my debt to you. But what have you to say?
Listen, Creon. I was sitting in my chair of augury, at the place where the birds gather about me. They were all a chatter, as is their habit, when suddenly I heard a strange jangling in their note, a scream, a whirring fury. They were fighting, tearing each other, dying in a whirlwind of wings clashing in a... I was afraid. I began the rites of burnt offering at the altar, but Festus failed me. Instead of a bright flame, there was only the sputtering slime of the fat thigh flesh, melting. The entrails dissolved into grey smoke, and no blaze! This was a sign from heaven. The boy described it for me, seeing for me as I see for others. Creon, I tell you, you have brought this new calamity upon us. The hearths and altars are stained with the corruption of dogs and carrion birds that glut themselves on the corpse of Oedipus' son. The gods are deaf when we pray to them. Their fire recoils at our offering. Their birds of omen have no cry of comfort, for they are gorged with the thick blood of the dead. Ah, my son, these are no trifles. All men make mistakes, but a good man yields when he knows his course is wrong and repairs the evil. The only crime is pride. Give them to the dead man then. Do not fight with the corpse. What good is it to kill a man who is dead? Think! I beg you. It is for your own good that I speak as I do. You should be able to yield for your own good.
It seems that prophets have made me their special province. All my life long I have been a sort of butt for the dull arrows of doddering fortune tellers. No, Tiresias. If your birds, if the great eagles of God himself carried him, stinking, bit by bit, I would not yield. I am not afraid of corruption, of pollution. No man can defile the gods. Do what you will. Go into business, speculate in Indian gold or synthetic gold from Sardis. Get rich otherwise and by my consent to bury him. Tiresias. It is a sad thing when the wise man sells his wisdom. That's out his words for hire.
Is there no man left in this world that...
Do what? Come, let's have an aphorism.
That knows that wisdom outweighs any wealth.
Surely as brass is baser than any base.
You're sick, Creon! You're deathly sick!
As you say, it is not my place to argue with a prophet.
And yet you said my prophecy is for sale.
The generations of prophets have always loved gold.
The generation of kings has always loved brass!
You forget yourself. I am your king.
Yes. I knew it. You're king because of me.
You have a skill, but you have sold out.
You'll drive me towards this.
Say them Say them. Only remember, I will not pay you for them.
No. You'll find them too costly.
No doubt. Speak. Whatever you say, you will not change my will.
Then listen, and listen close. The time is not far off when you shall pay back corpse for corpse, flesh of your own flesh. You have thrust the child of this world into living night. You have kept from the God below the child that is theirs. The girl in a grave before her death, the other dead, denied the grave. This is your crime, Creon. And the furies and the dark gods of hell are swift, with terrible punishment for you. Do you wish to buy me now, Creon? Not many days, and your house shall be full of men and women weeping. Curses will be hurled at you from afar. Cities grieving for sons unburied, left to rot the walls of Thebes. These are my arrows, Creon, and they're all for you. But come, ship, lead me away. To waste his fine anger upon younger men. Perhaps at last he will learn to control a wiser tongue and a better head.
The old man has gone, but his words remain to plague us. I am old too, but I cannot remember when he was ever false.
That is true. It worries me. Oh, it is hard to give in, but it is so much worse to risk everything for stubborn pride.
Creon, take my advice.
What would you have me do?
Go quickly, free Antigone from her vault, and build a tomb for the body of Polynices.
You would have me do this?
Creon, yes.
And it must be done at once. God moves swiftly to cancel the folly of stubborn men.
I will do it. I will not fight with destiny.
You must go yourself. You cannot leave it to others.
I will do it. Bring axes, servants. Follow me to the tomb. I buried her. I will set her free.
Oh, quickly!
My mind misgives. The laws of the gods are eternal. It is the duty of man to follow them to the last day of his life.
God of many names, O Aeacus, son of Cadmean Semele,
O
Born of the thunder, guardian of the west, regent of Eleusis' plain,
O Prince main Phoebus, and the dragon there Belligerent Ismenius.
God of many names,
the flame of torches flares on our hills.
The nymphs of Aeacos dance at the spring of Castalia from the vine-closed mountain.
Come in, ivy, evil hay, sing through the streets of Thebes, God of many names.
Aeacos of Thebes, heavenly child
of Semele, bride of the Thunderer.
The shadow of plague is upon us. Come with clement feet.
O come from Paranos, down the one slopes, across the laminating water.
Io fire,
Chorister of the melting stars,
O purest among the voices of the night,
thou Son of God,
blaze for us.
Come with choric rapture, circling with Maenads, who cry, Io, Ioke.
God of many names.
Men of the line of Cadmos, those who live near Amphion Citadel, I cannot tell the state of human life. This is clearly good, this is clearly bad. Fate weaves its ways in many ways. And fate casts down. I cannot recount happiness. Take the case of Creon. He was happy once. Father of children nobly born, sole governor of his land, but he has lost it all now. Make him happy, yes, in that great house of his, but who can be happy when your life's misery is all you know? He is but a shadow of all he owns.
Your words hint at sorrow. What is your news for us?
They are dead. And we, the living, are guilty of their death.
Who is guilty? Who is dead? Speak!
Haman. Haman is dead. And the hand that killed him is his own. This is my news. You must take with it what you can.
But look, Eurydice, our queen, has she overheard us?
I have heard something, friends. As I was unlocking the gate of the palace shrine, for I needed her help today. And I heard a voice, telling of some new sorrow. And I fainted there at the temple with all my maidens about me. Speak again, whatever, as I can bear it. Grief and I are no strangers.
Dearest lady, I will not try to comfort you, for comfort can only come with what is not true. Truth is always best. I went with Creon to the cave where Antigonne lay, and on the way we stopped by Polynices' body. Savaged by dogs, torn apart by vultures. There, we bathed the body in holy water. We took fresh twigs and burnt the body. We took the ash and ground from his land and piled it upon an urn. And as we went to Antigone's chamber, one of the servants went ahead and he reported back some distressing news. And Creon told us to make haste. He said to us, "This is some cruel deception of the gods." And the air filled with wailing, horrendous wailing. Creon, his eyes flooded with tears, he said, "Is this some deception of the gods? Is this my son calling to me? Oh, quickly, quickly, we must go." And we went to the chamber where Antigonne lay. Her couch of stone. We looked through the crevice in the furthest corner. She had made a noose of her fine linen veil, and she hung herself. And around her waist, Creon cried for his bride lost in death. Creon called out to his son, "Oh, my son, my son! What has happened that your eyes become so stranger to me?" It's beyond by Haman. and spat in his face. He drew his sword and lunged at his father, the murderer of his wife. Creon lunged back, dodging his son's attack, but by the time he had realised what was truly happening, Haman plunged the sword half its length into his own chest. And as crimson sputtered from his mouth upon his dead bride's cheek, he let out a curse to his father.
She's left us without a word. What could this mean?
I do not know. It worries me greatly, but no doubt she is leading her maidens in silence.
But in this deep silence, it's something that I fear.
I will go see what she's doing.
But here is the king himself.
Oh,
look
look
at him.
at him.
Bearing his own damnation in his arms.
Nothing you say can touch me anymore. My blind heart has led me from darkness to final darkness. Here you see the father murdering, the murdered son, and all my civic wisdom. Haman. My son. So young. So young to die. I was the fool, not you. And you died for me.
That's the truth, but you were late in learning it.
This truth is hard to bear. It seems that God has crushed me beneath the heaviest weight of heaven and driven me headlong a barbaric path to crush out all that I held most dear. Pains that men will take to come to pains.
Find more grief in your home.
What burden worse than this shall I find there?
The queen is dead.
Oh, port of death. Deaf world. Is there no pity for me? And you, angel of death. I was dead, and your words are death again. Is it true, boy? Can it be true?
You can see for yourself.
Pity! All true, and more than I can bear. Oh, my wife, my son.
She took the knife, guided by her own hand, into her heart. and her last cry for Megaris is dead. Her son's dead. And her last words were a curse upon their father. Murderer of her sons.
It is right that it should be. I alone am to blame. I know it, and I say it. Lead me away. Quickly, friends. I have neither life nor substance. Lead me away.
You are right.
There could be right and so much wrong.
The briefest way is best
It's in the world of sorrow.
Let it come. Let death come. Be kind to me. I will not ever see the sun again.
All that will come when it will. But we, meanwhile, have much to do. Leave the future to itself.
I poured my heart into that prayer.
Then do not pray anymore. The sky is deal.
Lead me away. I have been rash and foolish. I have killed my wife and my son. Everything I've put my hand to has come to nothing. Fate has made all my pride a whisper of dust.
There is no happiness where there is no wisdom. No wisdom but in submission to the gods. Big words are always punished, and proud men in old age learn to be wise.
Thank you for all your help and all your decisions.